Hi dear students, welcome to the next session of physics. Today we are going to discuss about a new chapter which you can see already in the board, which is called Gravitations. So far we have discussed about two chapters. First one, units and dimensions, it's a small chapter comparable to other chapters. Laws of motion is bit lengthy. There are a lot of numericals will be there. Same way will be here also, gravitation. Lot of concepts, lot of numericals will be there. So we'll start with the chapters called gravitation. So gravitation is, in short, it is purely related with the gravity property of the nature. Gravity property, of course, we know if you have something in our hand, if you drop it, it will fall down and it is attracting towards the center of the earth. From 8th standard onwards, we are learning this story, right? Okay. So there are some deeper analysis will be here. Whatever we are studied in our schools like 8th, 9th, 10th, we are elaborately studying various concepts will be here. That is the intention of these chapters. And the another advantages of this chapter is, if you are very thorough with these chapters, or if you know, if you are very comfortable with whatever I am going to teach you will be here, then your second year physics first chapter will be there, electric field and electric charge. So that chapter will be very easy for you, because 90% of the concepts what we are going to learn will be here, we are going to apply will be there also. So bonus point, like, right, if your study will be here and it will be useful for next level also. So let's go to the first topics. You can write on the headings called Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation. This is the first heading. Newton's law of gravitation. There are 100% sure that you will get a question both for Neet as well as for JEE entrance examination. Of course, questions were from there, from all the chapter. As usual, this chapter also you will get some good amount of question for the examinations. What is Newton's law of gravitation? States that, let us assume if you have two masses will be there, m1 and m2, two balls or anything. If these two balls are separated by a distance of r meters away, then what is Newton's law of gravitation? States that attractive force between the two particles directly proportional to product of their masses m1 and m2 and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. F is the force between these two particles. F means the particle number or the mass number 1 attract towards 2, which is given as F12. F12 means 1 is moving towards 2. Similarly, what I can written as 2 is moving towards 1. So 2, 1. This is what type of force? This is an attractive force. So in short, in a universe, if there are two masses are there, any two masses, any two weights are there, then there is a natural property exists in the universe, and which states that every two masses which have seen, which are separated by certain distance, they will always have a tendency to attract, and this attractive force is called Newton's force. Okay, so this law is called Newton's law of gravitation. This force will have some property, and the proportionality sign is replaced with a constant called capital G into m1 m2 divided by r square. This is the Newton's law of gravitation. Here G is called universal constant. G is called universal constant, universal gravitational constant. In specifically we can write universal gravitational constant. Somebody will say universal constant, both are same, but universal gravitational constant in a specific way. There is a standard value of G is calculated. G is a constant value, which value equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. You have to calculate the unit. If you keep G will be here, what you can write from this equation? G is equal to Fr square divided by m1 and m2. What is the unit of F? Unit of F is Newton. r is the distance, so its unit is meter square. m1 and m2 are masses, so kilogram into kilogram. Okay, so the unit of this one is what? The same thing, Newton meter square divided by kilogram into kilogram is called kilogram square. This is the unit of Newton's gravitational constant. There is an important concept in additionally will be there, dimensional formula of G, gravitational constant dimension formula. Okay, how to find out Newton meter square? Newton is the unit of force. So for this Newton I can written as MA. That is a formula, right? Meter square dimension formula L square. Ini mass in the dimension formula M. So kilogram square M square. We are going to replace MA. MA is the direct formula I have written for Newton. What is M? M is mass. So mass into dimension formula M. Acceleration meter per second square. Acceleration the unit meter per second square. So meter means L. Per second square will go to numerator. So LT raised to minus 2. L by T square will come, right? L by T square will come. This can be written as LT raised to minus 2 into L square whole divided by M square. So M and M will get cancelled. So the dimension formula is M power minus 1. Or M cancel. So balance 1M. This will go to numerator. M power minus 1. L cube T power minus 2. This is the dimension formula of universal gravitational constant. So all the points what I have written in the board should be there on your notebook. So two forces, attractive force between the two particles is given by Newton's law of gravitation. F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. m1 and m2 are the two masses, r is the distance between the two masses. G is called universal gravitational constant and the value of G is given, and we have calculated the dimension formula of G. Okay, fine, perfect. So I need to write some additional points, some extra points. Okay, this is important. Okay, so you can write a small subheading, important points on F. What are all the main connections for F? First one, F is a central force. F is a central force. F is a central force. The meaning of central force is like, suppose I have one body like this one. Okay. I have another body like this one, for example. So the force is always acting from center of one body to center of the next body. This is called central force. This is called the central force. This is this body center. This is the body center. This is also the body center point. Okay, so central force, the meaning wherever you see in physics, something called a central force mean one body in the center to next body at the center. So the force is always, so this body will attract towards this one, this body will attract towards this one, and that is called a central force. And the second important point is like, F is always attractive. F is always attractive. F is always attractive. It's an attractive force. Of course, it's not a repulsive force. Both bodies will get always attracted towards this one. And the third point is like, F12 is equal to minus F21. F12 is equal to minus of F21. F21. Why it's saying like, if you have two bodies will be there, M1 and M2 body. So first body will attract towards the second body. So what I can written as F12 in vector format. Second body will attract towards first one. How we can write it as F21? So F1 two direction and F21 directions are different. If these two directions are different, which means F12 is equal to minus of F21. That is the third property. Okay. Not over, we have to still continue the important points regarding the force. Okay, and the next point. The next point, it is related to valid for point mass. Valid for point mass. Point mass, this law is valid, but more significant in, more significant in heavy bodies, more significant in heavy bodies, which means I can apply for a point mass, I can apply like for a big block of mass like this. So this is applicable for that one also. Okay, so hope you understood the concepts behind this one and how this law, what are the important points related with this law. We'll see few questions related to this one. Okay, so that it'll be there. Okay, so the point is like F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by r square is applicable for a point mass. If you have two masses will be there, just a point masses, then that law is applicable. Okay, now we are going to see few questions. So you can write down the one question. Two identical spherical balls, you can write the question along with me. Two identical spherical balls made up of same material, having the radius r, okay. The gravitational force is there are options will be there. Gravitational force 1 by r square, B r square, C r power 4, D 1 by r power 3. There are different options will be there. So diagram is also given along with the question. Two spherical balls are connected like this and distance between them r, and they are made up of same material. What is the gravitational force? What we will do once we get a questions, we have to apply the law. Okay, this is a spherical ball, this is not a point mass. For point mass, F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. So in this case we can apply the Newton's formula. F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by r square. So two masses will be there. Of course we know F is proportional to 1 by r square. If you mark like this one, we got the answer as F is proportional to 1 by r square. If you have answered like this one, this is a wrong answer, this is a wrong answer. It is not a correct answer, right? That's what you can see. First option is given 1 by r square very eagerly. Once you see the question, you have very high tendency to write the answers in a very eager way. But this is not correct. This is not the right answer. So how to do this one? This is applicable for a point masses. To point masses, normally we are using this formula. Whenever it is out of the point masses, we have to use some other concepts are there. So what we will do? In this case, we know this is wrong one. So what we are going to write? F is equal to G. Mass of the first body, they are made up of something called, you remember this word, if something specific to given as some same material, different material, if some statements are there in question, this is a main hint for you. You have to use some density formula. Always remember, not only for this question, in any chapter, any question, if there is something speaking about material, then you have to use the density formula. What is density? density is equal to mass per volume. So mass will be equal to density into volume. For a sphere, density is rho, volume is 4 by 3 pi r cube. 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, so we'll see. First body, rho into same material, same radius, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Second body, rho into 4 by 3 pi r cube. And distance between the two bodies is how much? R plus R. Okay, here R plus R, so it become 2R square. Distance, central force, center to center distance we have to calculate. That is the property is called central force. So now we will take only the proportionality R, rest of the factors you can remove. In the numerator we have R power 6, denominator R square. So your answer is equal to R power 4. So F is equal to R power 4 is the right answer for this question. Okay. So for a point masses you can apply this one when the question is speaking about not a point masses or any other bodies, then you can apply this formula. Specifically they are mentioning about the material of the matter. Okay. Next. So you have to be little bit alert while you are doing the question. Okay. Next we will see few of the statements. Okay. Next question. Two bodies are separated by a distance of r. Separated by a distance of r. So two bodies, small letter m and capital letter M, separated by a distance of r. Okay. Which of the following conditions are valid? Which of the following conditions are valid? There are lot of conditions I am going to write will be here. We need to validate what are all the conditions. Whatever I am going to given to you will be here. Is a valid or not a valid one? First one, F12 vector is equal to minus of F21. This is valid, which means this is correct or not? Yes, this is correct. Already we have seen this one, right? F12, one body will attract towards another body, next body will attract towards this body. Both forces are equal in magnitude but opposite direction. That's what negative sign is coming. Okay. The second point, F net equal to 0. Is this correct? F net equal to 0 is the second point. What is F net indicate? F net equal to F12 plus F21. So we know one is positive, another one is negative. Both are equal in magnitude. So answer is equal to 0. What this we can say? Magnitude wise same. Magnitude wise both are same. So total force will be equal to 0. My third point, A12 is equal to minus A21. This is also a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. Is this correct? In one shot if you look, you will feel it is correct, but it's not correct. This is a wrong statement. This is a right statement. This is a wrong statement. The reasons will be here. See, what is F12? F12 is equal to G into M capital M by R square. Okay. So what is acceleration? A12, acceleration of the first block, small m capital M. So F12 divided by acceleration of this block. This is given a force called F12. So F12 force divided by its mass is called acceleration. So what you will get? G into M divided by R square. Now we will see the second one, 821. What is 821? 821 means F21. What is F21? We know F21 is equal to, magnitude wise I am saying, Gmm by R square. We know direction is opposite. F12 is equal to minus F21. You can put a negative sign here. So F21 divided by capital M. So minus of Gm divided by R square into capital M. M get cancels. What you will get? Gm by R square. You see this one. You see this one. Both are same? No. Both are not same. Both are, here it is capital M by R square. Here it is small m by R square. That's what C is a wrong statement. Forces are equal and opposite in magnitude, but accelerations are not equal in magnitude. Okay, not equal in magnitude for a different body. So this is an important concept. So 1 year this will become as an AEEE previous year engineering paper, as a question is come, which of the following statement is true. They will give you a lot of conditions and you know this is correct. So of course we have a feeling to say like that this is also correct. No, it is not correct. And we'll move to the next conditions. A center of mass is equal to 0. Center of mass, right? It's a new concept for you. Yes, we are going to learn this concept COM. COM is called center of mass. These concepts we are going to learn in very deeper analysis in rotational motion. So there is a formula of center of mass. At the moment you can remember like this: M1A1 plus M2A2 divided by M1 plus M2. This is the formula to find out the center of masses. Now we'll substitute our values and we are see whether this value matches with what we are getting it. Okay, first body M1 into A1. So the first body is M. So M into its accelerations. So Gm by R square. Plus become minus because of the second. So minus body, next body is capital M. Its acceleration is Gm by R square. So this negative is come here. Divided by M1 plus M2. We know this is equal to 0. Numerator itself it is equal to 0. So this means to us this condition is true. This condition is a valid one. So 4 conditions we have seen: F12 minus F21, F net 0, A12 is not equal to minus A21. It's a wrong condition. It's an incorrect condition. A center of mass. Center of mass in the formula is this one. We will learn bit late. After these chapters we will learn rotational motion. There we will learn about the center of mass in very detailed way. So at the moment you can remember there is a formula to calculate the center of masses like this one. Okay, if you remember, it's okay. You can remember at the moment M into Gm by R square divided by M1 plus M2. So once you substitute it, you will get center of mass will be equal to 0. So now we have seen like the 4 conditions. We have another condition is also there. What are all the other conditions? Now force we have seen, accelerations we have seen, and the next conditions we are going to see with respect to velocity. Okay, the condition E, fifth condition, V1 is equal to V2 is equal to 0. Both bodies are moving with the 0 velocity. 0 velocity means bodies are not moving. That itself it is a false statement. Because why I am saying like, because the reason is like 2 bodies, you can see 2 bodies have different acceleration. 2 bodies have different acceleration. You have seen like different acceleration. What are the accelerations? One body will have Gm by R square, another body will have minus Gm by R square. If acceleration is exist, if 2 bodies will have different acceleration, which means I can say acceleration exists. This is another meaning, right? Acceleration exists means velocity is never equal to 0. So velocity is not equal to 0. Okay, it is equal to 0 is a wrong statement. I am going to see the next condition. Next condition is F. Velocity of center of mass is 0. Next condition. Velocity to be 0, there are two conditions will be there. So if a velocity is to be 0 means accelerations that there should not be an acceleration, right? Okay. So center of mass will be equal to 0. Velocity is 0. I mean velocity of the center of mass is 0. This we can answer very logically. See, two bodies we know which is moving with the different accelerations, gm by r square minus. So two body will have an acceleration, means one is moving with a certain speed, another one is moving with a certain speed. Both bodies are moving with a certain speed, means v1 and v2 is not equal to 0. So velocity of the center of masses can be 0 in two contexts. One is v1 is equal to 0 and v2 is equal to 0. We know this is not possible. Another reasons, v1 will have one value. For example, v1 will have one value. v1 will have one value and v2 will have same value. So to find out velocity of center of masses, m1 v1 minus m2 v2 divided by m1 plus m2. Velocities are opposite direction, that's what I have taken as minus. So both the numerator quantity m1 v1 should be equal to m2 v2. If both are matching only, this will goes to 0. That's a condition, right? If both are equal only, numerator will goes to 0. We know v1 and v2s are not equal to 0, so that condition is rolled out because it is moving with a different acceleration. Now the next questions will come. Both are moving with a certain value. Of course, it's moving with a certain value. So there is a chance that both the m1 here why these both are equal in case of acceleration, because one is multiplying with another mass. This condition is not possible will be here. So which means v1 and v2 are holding a different value. A different value. This is also holding a different value. So different value, and whose product, which means m1 v1 should not be equal to m2 v2. The values should not be equal, because if you find from the acceleration, how you will get in an one dimensional motion, from an acceleration how you will get velocity, you have to integrate it. Okay, so if you try to integrate it, and the net value should not be m1 v1 should not be equal to m2 v2. So this is a wrong statement. This is a wrong statement. Instead I can say velocity of center of mass is constant. Velocity of the center of mass in this body is constant, and I can put it as a gth condition. Condition number G, that is constant, that should not be. So both bodies are moving with a this one. Okay, so in another way of defining this one, in another way of formula, see, acceleration is equal to 0. Acceleration is equal to 0 will have two possibility. One, velocity should be equal to 0 or velocity should be constant. You got my point? Acceleration of a center of mass is equal to 0. When I am saying a body is moving with an acceleration is equal to 0. So there are two chances will be there. Acceleration 0 means body is not at all moving, which means velocity of the center of mass equal to 0. Or another method, another point is like this should have a uniform velocity or constant velocity. Then also acceleration is equal to 0. We already given that acceleration of the center of mass is equal to 0. Already we got the point. And we already know velocity of the first body and velocity of the second body is not equal to 0. Because acceleration is different. So velocity exists, velocity is also different. So to have center of mass acceleration is equal to 0, the only balance condition exists is that velocity of the center of mass is constant. When velocity is constant, that is called uniform velocity, or it is called constant velocity. In that context, acceleration is equal to 0. I'll repeat once again. Acceleration on the center of mass equal to acceleration of a body is equal to 0 in two conditions. Either velocity is equal to 0 or velocity is constant. Velocity is equal to 0 possibility rolled out. It's not there. Why? Because we know velocity is not 0. Both bodies are moving with a different acceleration. The next possibility is velocity of the center of mass is constant. Yes, if velocity is constant, then acceleration is equal to 0. So this is a valid condition. So we have seen lot of conditions. Some of the conditions are correct, some of the conditions are wrong. This is important. Okay, there are lot of chances to generate more confusions on this area. So this is bit important. Okay, so we'll move to the next questions to solve it. Okay. The next question, in the arrangement given below, what is the value of gravitational force? So in a surface, two blocks are given, M, another block 2m mass, center to center distance is L, this height is L, and this center to this center distance is, this is given there. This center to this center distance is given as L. We need to find out what is the gravitational force exists between the two bodies. Two masses will be there, M body and 2m body. So M, maybe I can write it here, so that should be uniform. Okay, so from this one we need to find out the gravitational force. We know the condition gravitational force is what kind of force? F is a central force. So this is our two heavy bodies, right? So these are two heavy bodies. These are two heavy bodies. So two heavy bodies which are given there, and F is a central force. So F is a central force and these two are the heavy bodies. So we need to apply Newton's formula. F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by r square. So let's say central force means this body center to that body center. So what is the body of centers will be here? Now if you see the calculations, this is at a distance of L by 2 because it's L by 2. So what is the distance to this center? Distance to the center from here, it is half of this one, and its length is given as 2L. This I forgot to mention, and its length is given as 2L. So whatever is given I am marking in black color, and whatever I am writing extra is there. So central force. So we need to find out this distance. This distance we need to calculate. This length we know, this is called L. So what is this length? L by 2. This I am giving as X. This I am giving as X. So how to find out the hypotenuse? X will be equal to root of L square plus L by 2 the whole square. This distance is L square. So how much will get? Root of 2L square plus L square. 3L square by 2, which is equal to root 3 divided by, okay, we'll put it like this, root of 3 by 2 times of L. Now we'll apply the formula for this one. G into first mass M, second mass 2m divided by r square. Two heavily bodies we can apply this formula, two small bodies we can apply this formula. So G into m into 2m divided by r square. What is r square will be here? X square, central distance. Central distance will be there. So F will be equal to G into 2m square by X is how much? root 3 by 2 times of L the whole square, which is equal to 2gm square divided by 3L square by 2. Further simplifying, 4gm square divided by 3L square. 4gm square divided by 3L square. This is the best example to depict F is a central force, the force between the two bodies. Okay, the same questions might be connected. Okay, there is an additional bonus question I want to give to you. So F is a central force, F value we got it. Okay, so hope you have note down, else please note down on your notebook. Notebook is important. Do not watch like a cinema. Okay, so you have to, how you are sitting in the class, the same way you have to sit in front of the video lectures and you have to note down all the points whatever in the board. Okay, sometimes a questions will come. Okay, so you can write a bonus question. How they'll ask, what is the reaction? This will have a connections with laws of motions. What is the reaction offered by the ground on M? So what is the reactions offered by the ground on the block M? So we'll draw the free body diagram of the block M, for example. Okay, so we need to calculate the reactions offered. Okay, I'll change a little bit the diagram in order to make it easier. For example, in order to make it easier. Okay, in order to make it easier, this length I am giving as L by 2 and this length L by 2 and this angle I am calculating. So this is tan theta. Just to make our calculation easier, L by 2, L is bit complicated to find out the angle. So L by 2 by L by 2. So tan theta means opposite side by adjacent side, L by 2 by L by 2, which is equal to 1. So which means theta will be equal to 45 degree. So this angle we got it as 45 degree. Okay, so there are the two forces will be here. In this case, what is the distance called x? X is equal to what? X is equal to root of L by 2 the whole square plus L by 2 the whole square, which is equal to 2 times L by 2 the whole square root. So 2 into L by 2. Root 2 into L by 2, which means L by root 2. L by root 2 will come. So we need to calculate the force for this one also. So how to calculate? F is equal to G into 2m square by x square. X square means L by root 2 the whole square. 2 will go to numerator. So it becomes 4gm square by L square is the force available in this case. If the distance is L by 2, then this is the force. Here it is given as L. So now to calculate the reactions, I am drawing the free body diagram of this one. So this is a mass of M. M will act a force called mg. M will have a normal reactions called N1, and it is having an attractive force, makes an angle of 45 degree like this. 45 degree like this. Okay, so 45 degree like this one. Now we have to apply. Now we'll write the free body diagram equation. So this F can be splitted as a two component. One is F cos 45, another one is F sin 45. F cos 45 and F cos. Now we will write sigma Fy equation. Body is not moving like this one. So sigma Fy. So upward force is what? F sin 45 is equal to downward force. Upward force, one more things will be there. What is called normal reaction? Upward two things. N1 plus F sin 45 is equal to downward force is mg. There is no acceleration. So upward force minus downward force will be equal to 0, which means F sin 45. This is like sigma Fy equal to 0. F sin 45 plus n equal to mg. What is F? 4gm square by 4gm square by L square sin 45 1 by root plus normal reaction m is equal to, so it become 10m. Okay, so this become 2 root 2 gm square by L square plus normal reaction is equal to 10m. So n will be equal to 10m minus 2 root 2 times of gm square by L square is the final answer to this question. Is the final answer to the question. If m value is given, L values will be given, you can substitute and finally you will get a beautiful answers with a numerical value. So this is an additional question have given. So you can see you have learned gravitation now. You know how to apply Newton's law of gravitation also. Using that Newton's law of gravitation, you find out the force, and using that Newton's law of gravitation force, you come back to laws of motion chapter, and there you find the normal reaction N1 given by the body. This is how the real Neet or JEE questions. You have to find one concept from one chapter. Based on the concept you are generating or you are making, you are made up of a new a formula or a new equation. Here you are applied the Newton's law of gravitation concept from gravitation chapter, and that formula you taken into laws of motion chapter in order to find out the normal reaction. The questions are always like this one. It is always between the chapters, it's connected between the chapter. So we are calculating normal reaction. This is a bonus question I have given to you. This is all about Newton's law of gravitation. There are still other topics are there. This is the first topic out of this chapter. Hope you understood the. Okay, so write the notes very well. Many points we have written today. Lot of things will be there. Write it in a very neat way. Do not watch the videos in a casual way. Okay, hope you got something new from me. So thanks a lot for watching this.